Thad with Willoway Nurseries, Avon, Ohio. Today talking to you on the 22nd. Wanted to talk a little bit about growing degree days. We're at 1941 as of this morning. So we've taken a kind of a leap. We're getting to that point in the season where we're starting to see like the second generations of things or adult emergence of some of the borers. So coming up at 2195, we have ash clear ring borers going to be emerging, the adults. Right now at 1938, we're right on top of it, is magnolia scale emergence. So it's a good time to be spraying for that. We just passed up mimosa webworm. So those are all things that are kind of coming into play. Euonymus scale is right in here too at like 1930. So all of those things are kind of coming into play. So be watching for stuff. And that kind of dovetails into the next thing I wanted to talk a little bit about today is, especially this time of year, we're getting into the end of July, beginning of August, kind of the hot dog days of summer. So water is more critical right now than anything else we're doing. It's super important for us to get the right water at the right time. And that helps if we do get everything right, we don't have pests and disease issues going on. If we do water too much, we get a lot of root rots, things like that happen, things stay wet, we don't get development. Plants have kind of started to harden off a little bit in the summer here, so they're not doing that active really elongation, really growing heavily. So water usage is kind of down, so you can get too far off and overwater stuff. So watching what you're doing with the water. Some of the things I wanted to show was we have a spot here where we had a partial plug in one of our irrigation heads, and you can see on this Nepeta, this is one that was not getting the same water as this one, and you can see the difference that you're getting. So it's really important to get the right amount of water too, even if you've got heads. And that starts to pattern itself out. You can actually be looking over a crop and see where water is different. Now, where this becomes a problem is these bigger plants will actually start to use more water, and the ones that have been getting less water and held back will actually they won't use the same amount of water. So if you turn the water up, you'll actually be drowning those smaller plants and keeping the water right for the bigger ones. So the longer that goes, the harder that is to kind of keep from having problems with that. Also, two-spotted spider mite, where we've seen problems where we've had heads that have plugged or issues, two-spotted spider mites tend to start to flare up there. So it's really important, if you want to not have to do as many sprays, keep good quality, make sure you're doing station tests on your lines, watching them as they water. Make sure you're getting a thorough watering by taking the plant and tipping the pot is the best way of doing this, and looking to make sure you got good color, moisture all the way to the bottom of the plant. Happy growing. Hi, we moved over. We're at our 7-gallon limelight tree hydrangea. As you can see, we got really nice plants, real nice shape to them, real clean. We're starting to get some buds in them. So you can see we're just starting to get some buds forming on the trim. So got a lot of real prime candidates here. Some of the things that we're working on is really trying to get and develop a really nice tight round head. So we're working on trim side lateral, so we've got lots of breaks. If you open this up, you can see the head's very dense and thick. So that's partially because we put a lot of trims into these to really get them solided up so they don't snap or break real readily. They're on a bamboo pole. That helps give them a little support, but we've got nice caliper trunk size proportion to the head to the trunk, which I think is really important from the growing aspect of this plant, is really making sure that we have that right proportion to it. We don't need some kind of massively huge head and a small top or trunk on it. We want to get that good proportion. So those are kind of things we look for when we're producing tree hydrangeas, is really getting a really nice tight head that's a real nice meatball shape, and then the trunk to head ratio. It's Thad Willoway. We're over here at our Cornus kousa chinensis. Just looking at the great plant, great color. We got really nice growth coming on these. They're good value. I reach 8 foot, so this is pots above ground, so you're probably a good 7 foot in height, and they're probably at least a good 3.5 foot wide. Really nice branching. They're branched to the ground, most of them. There are a few that are branched up a little higher. So you could go either way if you want to make a tree form or leave it more of a shrubby kind of growth to it. But really nice. We're getting some really nice growth right now. really deep colors. You can see I've got good numbers here. So if you're looking for some kousa, this is the place.